How's it? I'm Christo, and welcome to the Diamond Cornerstone. Yeah. Um, so, purpose of this channel is we've got to transform how we think. Our current thinking, according to me, is linear, random, separate, competition, conflict, and I recommend we follow a model, and I've codified it into the diamond that is cyclical, integrated, systematic, that promotes cooperation and mutual service. So today, something has, I went back to a concept that I investigated years ago, and that's actually the roll down from, let's say, global structures to national structures, and then down to provincial and then local government, which would be municipalities. Now, Africa has a serious need for transformation and development. The continent has a lack of infrastructure, a lack of service delivery, a lack of empowerment. And the greatest weapon for transformation, as per Madiba, is education. And education can be seen as knowledge, skills. And with those two, you can get a product, and a product can be sold, whether the product is a tangible product or a service. And then through and praxis, so to say, we can add quality. So you'll actually see in the diamond itself, we can actually take this to knowledge, process, product, and then praxis would be the addition of quality. Now this happens from a global level, national, provincial, municipality. And we keep it in a hierarchy because that's been our tradition for the past 4,000 years. Thank you, Joseph, where we had a pharaoh and then Joseph was second in charge, and so we actually developed a hierarchical system. Now I'm the guy who says we've got to move from a hierarchy to a heterarchy because we've got social maturity that can actually be upgraded, that we don't need a king, and there isn't foreign conflict that we need a massive tax base for an army. We need a massive tax base for infrastructure. The war right now is not against poverty. The war is against our own thinking, because we are indoctrinated to believe in hierarchy, whereas we should be self-governed, own determination or self-determining communities. Now the bad thing here is, or the challenge is actually, is that you can have a boardroom full of CEOs or specialists with seriously high IQs, intelligence quotients, but as soon as they're in a group, then the intelligence quotient basically drops to like 0, or at least like 60, because there's this group thing. So we need actually a group intelligence quotient upgrade, which can be found in the diamond. And as the diamonds come together, because each individual is a diamond, we actually get a constellation of diamonds. Now this works from global to Africa, national, provincial. Okay, and it can be seen through the goals of, let's say, global goals like the Millennium Developmental Goals, which was things like water, sanitation, education, spatial planning, and I've actually went and found my old NEPAD strat, and I tabulated it to see how it goes from NEPAD, which is the new economic plan for African development, as established in like 2000, so as to reach the Millennium Development Goals by 2014. Now, if everybody had worked together, we could have reached everything. Okay, but, and this is where we have the downgrade because of group and personal interests and party interests and things like that. So looking at the Africa's development, peace and security is always first. Now, and then it's democracy and good political, economic, and corporate governance, cooperation and integration. AKA integration is bring the diamonds together. But if we're working in linear models, we can't actually see how the diamonds interlock. Okay, then there's agriculture. Food security is a massive thing in Africa. I have no clue why, because if you plant anything, have a little bit of agricultural, not even finesse, just I'm going to plant vegetables. Vegetables can grow. I'm going to plant fruit trees will grow. And then it's just pruning and basic maintenance. And once a year, you'll actually have it. And this was set up in 2000. So Africa should have food security by 2014. A fruit tree doesn't take 14 years to deliver. It takes about 7 years with a little bit of nurturing and guidance. But again, I'll say it's how we're thinking. I heard it the other day. South Africa's got this phenomenal thing called Black Economic Empowerment, where they give you 30% of the business, which actually hamstrings Africans to believe that they have to be given. Outside direct investment for development means that both parties will be getting a share of the profit. It's good business, it's good governance, it's good economic exchange. But we've been standing with our hands out saying, give it, gimme, because I believe the West looks at Africa and knows it is a sleeping giant. Because if Africa is developed and Africa is empowered, Africa will hold the whole world hostage just for food security. Because we don't have to, a bowl of lentils in peace is better than the fattened calf in strife. Okay, human development. Okay, back at NEPAD strat here. Human development with focus on health, education, science, technology, and skills development. Building and improving infrastructure, and this includes information and communication technology, energy, transport, water, and sanitation. The beautiful thing about this one little aspect is that we do not have to, Africa doesn't have copper cabling all over for telephone lines. So we don't have to keep it like Europe till it is paid itself off, so to say. The return on the investment. Europe invested millions, billions of euros into copper cabling for telephone lines. And now they've got to keep those telephone lines until the return on the investment. Because there was debt made for those lines. Africa doesn't have that flaw. We can go straight into satellite. We can go straight into towers. We don't have to worry. Okay, so that's an opportunity. And then promoting diversification of products, production and exports. We can build everything here. We don't need to go to China. Okay, agro industries, manufacturing, mining, mineral beneficiation and tourism. Intra-African trade and improving access to markets of developed countries. Look, if we can get our railway systems up and our ports, whether it's airports or seaports, all operational, voila. Okay, environmental stewardship, it's part of the diamond. Domestic savings and investments. If abundance flows, savings happen. Management and public revenue of expenditure. Africa's sharing global trade. Attract foreign direct investment. Yeah. People will invest if there is exchange. And now the funny thing is, from the hierarchy, okay, this is policy from NEPAD, or the goals from NEPAD, which actually rolls into the goals of state. South Africa's got this new thing, they want to go and have a national dialogue on what's the problem. Problem is, inaction is an action. And for 31 years, we have not delivered. We have been inactive. Because from national, it rolls down to province, and I took the Northern Cape, which is like the biggest province, but it's actually got the least people. So therefore, you've got the space, you've got everything, and they've got minerals. They want to reduce crime by 10%. Well, empower everyone, and then give people purpose, and immediately, crime goes down. Because people have purpose. People have well-run families. Okay, maintain an average economic growth rate of between 4 to 6%. Well, the whole country's national growth rate at the moment is like not less than 1%. Economic growth rate, okay? Agriculture is simple, little bit of empowerment. People have land. I'll show you, I'm gonna put a picture up here. This is the Google Earth of a place called Campbell. Campbell is in the middle of nowhere. But as you can see, there are plots of land on a spring And there's actually a water line that runs through this. So all those fields, and they're about 1 hectare fields. Each field can be a vegetable patch or a vegetable garden of sorts. And they're all independently owned. And this is in the middle of nowhere. It's Campbell, Northern Cape, if you want to look it up. And it's lying dormant because firstly the guys don't have any tools, so you basically just have to go give them tools and a little bit of empowerment and a vision of, hey, you guys can feed your own town. There are only like 2,000 people living there, but they need economic exchange to be able to do economic exchange, because we can build the product, but then the people don't buy the product because they don't have cash too. So you got to actually build multiple sectors. Okay, here comes, this is back to the Provincial Growth and Development Strategy. We've got HIV/AIDS, infant mortality, maternal mortality, improved literacy rate. If we can jack up our literacy rate, we can change everything. Okay, and then it's shelter, which is spatial planning, which falls under municipality. Employment will go up. And then it's environment, we look after our biodiversity, aka we get environmental stewardship to the people. And voila. And this comes from NEPAD, rolls into national, into provincial, and then into the integrated development plan. And these are our assessment criteria for the next elections. We can start with a local government, and they've put it down. It's on paper. All you have to do is go and ask, okay, did my municipality figure out community safety? Has the crime decreased? Have institutions been developed? Are the staff at the municipality developed? Staff receives training in 100% areas of work as per their job description. I'm confused when you ask a state employee, what have you done this week? And they say, I'm like, you've got a job description. The municipality has an integrated development plan. There's policies and structures of things that have to be delivered. When province asks municipality, okay, why hasn't this been delivered? Where did you spend all these salaries? No, this is the salary bill. But what did they do? It's a job description. Everybody has one. You're not going to just rock up at someone's yard and just sit there and expect money. They're going to say, do a job. Whether you're fixing a window, tiling, fixing the roof, working in the garden, fixing the car. Someone phoned me the other day and said, hey, bake me a cake. I baked them a cake. I delivered the cake. I get my money. It's not rocket science. Okay, and then there's the health aspect again, human development. Note, African Parliament or NEPAD said human development. Province said HIV/AIDS. And then the municipality said 50% improvement of health facilities, but percentage of infection goes down. Education, the standard of education has improved with matric pass rate of 90%. Literacy rates have risen by 20%. Now, unfortunately, as we can see, this is from 2000. So where are we now? Therefore, someone is inactive and getting a salary, and we must hold these guys accountable. Housing, well, with spatial planning at the municipality level, we can, and a little bit of empowerment, there are lots of guys not working today who can build houses. Put in water and sanitation. Fix the roads. It's IDP. And it all fits into the IDP somewhere. Okay, self-reliance, aka empower the people. Economic development. Economic growth has increased by 3%. 1,000 new job opportunities be created. Environment, have an attractive environment which is clean, well kept, natural open spaces, parks as well are well maintained. Yeah. Then there's revenue enhancement with more people working. There's more income for the municipality, more income for province, more income for state, aka bigger tax base. We move from hierarchy to heterarchy. And then there's institutional development to ensure that the municipal staff receives training in 100% of their job description. Rocket science. Let's hold the people accountable who we have voted in. We the people, they're public servants, they're servants of the public. Civil servants, servants of civilization. Servants of the municipality area, servants of the provincial area, servants of the state, servants of Africa, servants of the globe, to serve the higher good, society at large. This is the Diamond Cornerstone. I believe it can be a cornerstone for society. And yeah, let's build state.